Hi everyone, I'm Gergő. I created Fusion Advanced Text Animation video, and as I promised, I created a macro to let you create your own styled version. In the following video, I will show you how it works. For those who are not familiar with macros, these tools are built from Fusion's native tools and saved as a standalone tool. It's not a plugin, therefore you don't need to install it. All you need to do is to copy the setting file to your macro folder. Okay, let's open our macro. You can find it in Tools and check in your macro folder. I placed it here. So this is it. When you open it, you will see it's blue. It's because this is a 3D tool. Let's see a quick overview of its settings. If I put it here, you can see this is a 3D tool. And on the right side, you can see the settings of the macro. What this macro does, it's slicing up the letters into 4 pieces, and it allows you to control them individually. That's why you see the 4 drop-down menu here. Left up, left bottom, right up, and right bottom. All of them has the same controls, like opacity, color controls, offset, which allows you to move it in 2D, but unfortunately it has no handlebars in the 3D environment. Below that you will find offset Z, which moves it on the Z-axis, and you can rotate them as in any other 3D tool here. And all of them has the same controls. Below those you can find the size, and after that it comes the fonts options. Now it says Open Sans, but you can choose any font you like. Also please note that this macro has been optimized for Helvetica Neue Thin. Below that you can type in your text in the styled text area. After that it comes the character spacing and other 2 drop-down menu like delay controls and extrusion controls. Under the delay control menu, you can set up the direction of the effect here. As default, it's left to right. Below that you can set up its type, which means the amount of the delay applied to letter by letter or the full word. As you see, it says between first and last character. That means the full word. Below that you can find a delay slider, which controls the amount of the delay. If you are familiar with the follower modifier, it won't be new for you. Okay, the extrusion controls are completely the same like the text 3D node has. Okay, now you know what you can adjust in this macro. In the follows, I will show you how you can build one of my favorite text effect, what I call folding effect. Okay, first open the macro. Okay, let's type an O. This is the best character to showcase this folding effect. Let's set up the font to Helvetica Neue Thin. Okay. And to keep the project simple and the tutorial short, all the folding animation going to be 10 frame long, and standard smoothing will be applied on the animation splines. So for this effect, I think the easiest way to work backwards, so I will go to frame 100 and I will fold in the characters, and it's backwards going to be an unfolding effect. I hope it will be clear, but as we're going in, I'm sure it will be clear. Okay, so go to the... you can start with any. So let's start with left up controls. The first thing you will notice that when you adjust the values here, nothing will happen. To display what you're doing and actually working with it, you need to right click and animate, and now you can see it works. And now, but I want to start it from the right up controls. Okay, let's start with angle Y, right click, animate. This is going to be the last one because it's 100. Go to 90, 10 frame as we discussed, and rotate it to minus 180. Okay, and just before it touched the other one, to keep the whole thing clear, we will adjust the opacity to right click, animate on 91, frame 91, go back to 90 and pull down the opacity. Now let's do with the others. This is the left up, so we're going here. I want it to rotate down, so I will animate the angle X, and this is, we jump, and now we jump to frame 80, fold it down this way. As you can see, it has a little pivoting problem, unfortunately, but we can handle it. It's not a big issue. So 180, and we will also adjust the offset here. Go to 80, and let's try on the y-axis minus 0.075. I think it's able. No, it's not minus. Okay, it's just right. If you don't like it, you can tweak it in the timeline. Like selected, this was the left up, and we used the displacement. Quite okay. Go back to the flow. It's frame 80, and now this is the left bottom, so open left bottom controls. We're going to fold it on angle Y, so right click, animate, go to 70. You can see what I forget here. Go back to 80, to be honest 81. This was the left up control. Right click on the opacity, go back to 80, frame 80, pull down the opacity to 0, and now we can move forward. Okay, let's see what we have done here. Okay, and in the right direction is going to be unfold. Okay, let's extend the range. Okay, and as we discussed, let's set up the standard smoothing on the on the spline. So go to the spline tab. Let's see what we did. With Command A or Control A, select all of them, and if you press F, it will create ease in, ease out smoothing on your splines on every keyframe. Okay. With this, it looks like this. Okay, now we have the effect. Let's add more characters to see how the delay option works. So, but first, I will move these values to the beginning. Here, it starts from 0, great. And let's add more characters. Let's keep the O's. Make it 5. Now it happens all at once. So let's see the delay controls. Nothing happens because the delay now is 0. I will set up the delay to 7. And the type to between each character, I let it as it is now. And let's see how it looks in different delay order. So this is the left to right. The next one is the right to left. This is the inside out, outside in, and random. Of course, you can change your text anytime, even when it's animated like this. So, like, type in change. There you go. So now we have the effect. Whether you'd like to use it in 3D or as a flat 2D render, you will need the follows. You will need a camera and a 3D renderer. The 3D merge connect all the 3D elements in the 3D space. Here's our camera. Here is our camera. Let's see again. So now we have the 2D version. Let's add some spacing. Okay. This animation looks the best when it's overlapping. To do that, you will also need an out animation too. is the same how we did earlier, but now we animate the characters to disappear. Let me do this quickly. Okay. Now we have the animation folding in and folding out. So let's put back the delay, which was number 7. Let's see what we did. Now it's random, so let's to overlap, let's make it left to right. Now it's done, and the folding out animation. Now how it will overlapping. To have that, we should duplicate or copy this macro. And put it back and change the text to any text. Okay. Now we see it's not aligned well, so we will add transform 3D. It's quite okay now. And let's shift the keyframes. It starts, it goes here. Okay, let's jump to the exciting part. It needs more length. And now we will have this overlapping effect. Okay, let's see what options we have in 3D. You can extrude your text add materials, lighting, duplicate or bend your macro, add camera movement or depth of field to it. I prepared some examples for you. As I want this video short, just quickly run through on the flow. I rendered a preview from this one. Okay, I will stop it now. So here you can see this is the animation. Hopefully you will see, yeah. So here you can see this is the animation. I stick with the O's. And with the duplicate tool, I duplicate them. To move it in 3D, I use a Transform 3D. I use a point light. And the camera. On the camera, here, as you can see, there are some depth of field effects. This is an OpenGL rendered version of it, which comes out straight from the renderer 3D. You can find it here, the renderer 3D node. You need to turn on the Enable Accumulation Effects. The depth of field checkbox will be turned on automatically. Here you can set up the quality of it and the amount of the blur. And the question is where you can put the focus on your 3D scene. You can adjust it in the camera. You can see here this green rectangle. You can find it here. This is the plane of focus. To make it visible, go to Control, Visibility, and here you can find the plane of focus. You can add more subdivision to it. Okay. And as you adjust the slider, you can set up the focus on your 3D scene. What else you can do? Also, I will delete the preview. Here's the 2D version of the same stuff, but it's not that exciting. So let's go to the another one. With pressing the numbers on your keyboard, it controls the windows. So when I press 2 here, it will display it on the right, and also you can pull it down from there. So here I changed the character mapper. I added also some camera movement, lights and depth of field, pretty basic. And also I duplicate the character mapper macro. Let's go from node to node. So it says any text. It's falling in. It also has been duplicated downwards. So with Transform 3D, I lift it up a little. On the Merge 3D node, I added the point light, and I also animated the camera. And the result is this. It's a bit basic, I know, but it's up to you how you will use it. You can download the macro from the link in the description. I hope you will enjoy to use it. And if you would share with me your work with my macro, I would appreciate it. Thanks for watching.